Well, hi everyone, and welcome to the Buffett and Beyond Research Saturday ETF report. And this is September 28, 2024. The month is just about over. And remember, if you want to live on the beach like Jimmy Buffett once did, you've got to invest even better than Warren Buffett does now. And let's look at the QQQs. Now, this is the NASDAQ 100. So it's the QQQ, that's the ETF. And we want to show you that here we reached a new high just this week. And right now we are testing that new high. It's down right now. I'm recording this on Friday afternoon. The QQQs are down right now, and we are pretty much overbought in here. However, the intermediate term indicator down here is still pointing up. And we have all these averages here, the 20-day moving average, 50-day moving average. And of course, when the 20-day moving average crossed over the 50-day moving average, that's a very, very good sign. So that's a silver cross or something of the sort, folks. That's nice to see, plus this new high in here. And we'll test it, and we'll see. We might be a little bit overbought and see a reversion back to the mean, which is the 20-day moving average. But we'll see. It's been surprising us every day this week. And let us look at the S&P 500. Maybe that'll give us a better clue. And, of course, we are overbought in the S&P 500, down on the day so far. And down here, the indicator is still pointing up, and it is overbought. Yeah, so the market is kind of looking for a correction here, but there's so many good things happening in the market with the economy that the market just does not want to break. And let's look at the technology ETF, and it's kind of doing nothing really. I mean, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down, it goes up, but it is overbought again. And down here, it is almost looks like it wants to kind of turn down, but we'll just have to wait and see. Again, 20-day moving average crossed over the 50-day moving average. 50 days, the blue line, that's a bullish signal in here. And we are looking at this top in here. We are testing it as we speak. And the XSD, which is a semiconductor, just as we're speaking, we have almost the exact same chart as the tech industry ETF, which is the XLK. This year, what you're looking at is the XSD, the semiconductor ETF. And let's look at the utilities, and that's the one that just doesn't want to turn around and go down. That's because of interest rates, and everybody wanted to get into higher interest rates as the Fed started lowering. So this is a beautiful, beautiful run in here. Boy, oh boy. Very, very nice. And it's been following that 20-day moving average this whole time in here. Seemed to have flattened out this week in here, so it's just taking a little rest. And let's look at the transportation. Now, where the transportation goes, the market goes. So we're looking at the transportation specifically because the Dow 30 keeps making new highs, but the transports are just playing around in here. And, you know, here's where it was up here before, and now it is testing that area. So we're doing a lot of testing here, and we are very, very overbought here. But let us look at how the IYT, the Transportation Average ETF, has actually done this year. And here we go. Here's the S&P 500, right, this whole group right in here, up 20.6%, but the IYT, the transportation's up 5.7%. So what we're looking at is with the S&P up 20.6%, the Dow making all-time new highs, the transports, which you need to keep the economy running because raw materials have to get to the manufacturers, then the manufacturers have to ship to the retailers, and the retailers then ship to us, or we go shopping. But pretty much now they're delivering to us, aren't they? The point I'm bringing out here is that we have some averages making nice new highs, but the transports are not following. So I kind of think the Federal Reserve is looking at that and saying the economy is not as good as the indices like the S&P and the Dow are indicating to us, and that's why they started lowering interest rates. So you kind of have to look behind the scenes, and the transports are looking behind the scenes. Now, this is the first ETF in a long time where our top stocks that we picked for the ETF are not outperforming the ETF itself. So the best stocks in the transports are barely up for the year. The transport itself, the ETF, is barely up for the year when you consider S&P up 4 times as much. Let's go to the housing sector. We like the housing sector. With interest rates going down, the housing sector has picked up. But let's look closer at the stocks. And the home builders are up 31.1%, and the top stocks in that sector are up 31.9%. So the whole sector is doing very, very well. Now, we don't have the home builders specifically in the ETF, but we do have some of the stocks, like these 2 stocks up here. We have them in our other portfolios, and also down here, this particular stock, which happens to be Williams-Sonoma, is up 54%, and Advanced Drainage Systems up 13.9%, but we expect this index to move even higher as interest rates come down. Let's look at our sector stars, which is about 17, 18 stocks of what we consider the best stocks in our ETF. So in other words, rather than buying a few stocks in the ETF, because if you go into the tech stocks of the ETF, there's only 5 stocks that I would invest in those. So we came up with the sector stars, ETF sector stars, which has tech stocks in it, semiconductor stocks and building stocks, and thus even Netflix is in here. So we have stocks that are doing very, very well, up 30.8%. Folks, this portfolio is really rocking and rolling, and it's up 50% more than the S&P 500, which is up 20%. The QQQs themselves, the NASDAQ 100, up 19.1%. But the top stocks that we picked, and this is one of our favorite portfolios, up 30.8%. Now, here comes our best portfolio. QQQs, the NASDAQ 100. We picked the top 12 stocks out of these QQQs. So we have about 12 stocks out of the NASDAQ 100 stocks, and they are up 34.2%. And if you're hedged, it is only costing us about 1% to hedge. And we were hedged during 2 declines, which really helped out this 34.2%. Very nice, folks. So our QQQs, which is my favorite portfolio, these are the top 11, 12 stocks, 13 stocks. The number is not set, but these stocks have to have a clean surplus return on equity over 20%, and you can see these stocks certainly do. So, folks, we like this portfolio, and we've had a very, very good week. So, folks, since we've had such a good week, and that hurricane on the other coast has passed us and up and is losing steam as it goes over land up in the south, I should say up because we're way south, up in the southern part or the northern part of Florida, the southern part of Georgia, and then the Carolinas, and we'll see what happens with that. But it's dropping a lot of rain, so there's a lot of flooding. But meanwhile, the stock market's doing great. Go out, enjoy this weekend, and if you want to live on this beach like Jimmy Buffett once did, he had a home just about 5 or 6 miles up the road from this beach here, and you go out, you enjoy yourself, have Sunday dinner with your family, stay with your loved ones, and folks, don't worry about anything. Enjoy the weekend, stay safe, and we'll see you back here in a few days.